Former Eastern Germany, the venue for round 3 of the Super Touring Meisterschaft for 1998, Germany's 2-litre touring car championship. And a stunning performance in qualifying saw Johnny Cecotto and Joe Winkelhock start from the front row of the grid in their BMWs. At this stage, Cecotto starting to establish himself as the better positioned of the two BMW drivers in the championship. And he's heading them away here. Opel, Peugeot and the resurgent Hondas, along with Nissan, the opposition here. The BMW starting at the front of the field on this tight and twisty Sachsenring circuit and starting immediately to drive away. In third place is Christian Menzel, who passed Manuel Reuter on lap 1. Joe Winkelhock spins out there. Christian Menzel picks up a place on lap 2. Manuel Reuter trying to find a way past him. And he does it. Next up is Emanuele Pirro. Pirro decides that passing Winkelhock's not enough. He'll go inside Reuter as well. There wasn't room, so Winkelhock takes back a place as Pirro and Reuter both go off into the boonies. Here's a replay here. Cecotto leading, Winkelhock hitting a patch of wet track, spinning out across the bows of Menzel, who does extremely well to not only keep his speed up, but to avoid him as well. Johnny Cecotto now with Christian Menzel playing tail gunner, or is he? Will Christian Menzel have a chance to take victory here? Well, he'll have to beat Johnny Cecotto first, and that is never an easy task. As you can see, a wet circuit and an awful lot of mud brought on the cars that went off, bringing large amounts of mud on with them. Jochen Winkelhock spinning again. He was in third when he spun and rejoins in 9th place. Eventually finds his way back up to 7th. Cecotto the leader then, from Christian Menzel. Laurent Aiello closing in the closing stages, but on the final lap not close enough to do anything about it. BMW will win a sprint race for the first time all year, take their first 1-2 of the season. Aiello third, Uwe Altzen fourth for Opel, then Gabriele Tarquini in the Honda. Michael Krum's best result of the year so far, 6th for Nissan. Christensen scoring well for Honda as well. Well, the lights go green. Johnny Cecotto gets a good start. Joe Winkelhock goes to the inside. There's no dice there, so the BMW's great starting potential slightly ironed out there. Cecotto has to fight off Menzel at the first corner as the Honda runs into problems with Winkelhock, Gabriele Tarquini, and then there is a big pile-up further back. Tom Christensen and Michael Krum make contact. Jörg van Ommen and Laurent Aiello also in trouble there. So Aiello restarts at the tail of the field. Uwe Altzen spinning a couple of corners later there, out of 4th place and taking a long while to rejoin. Still on the first lap, Tom Christensen's Honda here in a collision with Oliver Meyer in a privateer Audi, and they can't separate themselves as they both go off. Christensen out of it there. Still on the first lap, and an action-packed first lap it was. Alexander Bergstaller facing backwards as he collides with Emanuele Pirro. Behind Eric Ellery and Manuel Reuter, the three Opels running strongly together. But as they come round to the end of the action and drama-filled first lap of the race at the Sachsenring, Johnny Cecotto leads for BMW from Christian Menzel, second in BMW, as they were at the end of the sprint. Third place, it's Joe Winkelhock, the man who spun his way down the order several times in the sprint. 4th place and some way back now from this BMW trio, Gabriele Tarquini in the Honda. And 5th place, Peter Mammerau in his privateer BMW. Replay going down into the first corner behind Franz Engstler in his 97 Opel Vectra. We ride with Stefano Modena. Pick your way through this lot if you can, and he can't. Well, there is Emanuele Pirro out of action after a clash with Uwe Altzen. Doesn't seem entirely happy about it, and a little bit of Italian coming to the surface there. Here is the Altzen and Pirro incident, and no doubt who Pirro holds responsible.
Altzen is always driving so aggressive. Last year he did the same to me in another corner. He pushed me off, and then I got really mad because I think it's not necessary to do on the first lap of such a long race these things. But okay, I want to close the accident. It's not a big problem. I want to apologize because this reaction is not on my style. Excuse me, but I should have counted 10 before getting out of the car.
Replay here, problems from Michael Krum. Contacts there on the right-hand side of the car, you can see quite clearly, and it's led to broken rear suspension. Here is his teammate Roland Ash, the man with the perma grin when he's driving in his Nissan, or indeed anything else. He's hot on the heels here of Laurent Aiello in the Peugeot. This is the battle for 6. And Ash dives down the inside under braking. The Nissan Primera is looking a very strong force in the 98 Championship. What a shame that the team was pulled out by Nissan management at the end of the year. But out front, now it's Johnny Cecotto from Jochen Winkelhock, because Winkelhock has moved past Christian Menzel. Menzel in the orange Isert team BMW. And now the two Schnitzer BMW cars, first and second. Roland Ash passing Manuel Reuter there, car number 7. And that's a change for 5th place. Ash is really flying up the order in the Nissan. Well, as Ash continues, Jochen Winkelhock starts to create problems for himself, a mud-spattered car. And this is why he spun several times in the sprint. Now he does it again, out of 2nd place in the race, but rejoins still in 2nd. So as Winkelhock continues, slightly adrift of his teammate Cecotto, here is the battle between Gabriele Tarquini and Roland Ash. This is for 4th place, and you can see Ash a second a lap quicker here. The Honda, a real speed sledge on the fast circuits. Struggling here around the Sachsenring, despite its all wishbone suspension. Roland Ash forging away past in the Nissan, able to run away. At the end of the race, Gabriele Tarquini holding off Laurent Aiello, Manuel Reuter and Eric Ellery. He's 5th, Aiello 6th, Reuter 7th in car number 7, and Ellery in the muddiest car in the race in 8th place. But Johnny Cecotto wins the race and the sprint on the same weekend. Joe Winkelhock 2nd. Christian Menzel disqualified from 3rd place for taking unmarked tyres on his car. An oversight that the Isert team would not be keen to repeat later in the year. The Schnitzer team celebrating. Cecotto, the first man to take a double race weekend. BMW 1, 2 and originally 3 before Menzel's disqualification.
Yeah, the tyres weren't really perfect from the beginning till the end, and the car was really fantastic.
And that superb weekend in Saxony for Johnny Cecotto launches him into a championship lead. BMW driver leading, Peugeot driver chasing, the reverse of 97. Well to the Norris Ring on the streets of Nürburg and in front of the famous tribunes. And again, a wet race. This direct counterpoint to 97, which was scorching hot. But Eric Ellery on pole for Opel. And it's Opel's first pole position of the year. Peugeot, Nissan and BMW pole winners at the first 3 races. And Eric Ellery receiving rough treatment from both Peugeots as they gang up on him away from the start. Joe Winkelhock goes around the outside. Another lightning start from the BMW. They really are at an advantage away from the grid against the front-wheel drive cars. Joe Winkelhock converts that into the lead at the first corner. Christian Menzel runs wide at the tail of the field. And here in the spray is Manuel Reuter chasing Eric Ellery. Ahead of him, it's the Peugeot of Jörg van Ommen. And it's Laurent Aiello battling Joe Winkelhock for the lead. So 15 laps to go. And Aiello battling on the outside of Joe Winkelhock at the hairpin. Winkelhock holding on here. But this is now a battle for 2nd place because Uwe Altzen had taken a lead early on ahead of Winkelhock and ahead of Aiello and was starting to run away with the race. And as Altzen increased his advantage, the track started to dry. The battle between these 3 men, Winkelhock the white car, Aiello the yellow car, and Ellery the orange and white car, got tougher and tougher. Contact made as Aiello needs more space than there is. Finally makes his way into 2nd place to the delight of the Peugeot team. And now Winkelhock under pressure from Eric Ellery. Ellery gets the Opel alongside on the inside. And there's nothing that Smoking Joe can do about that one either. So Uwe Altzen leading here quite comfortably. Joe Winkelhock in 4th, but Manuel Reuter looking to go down the inside at the hairpin, thumps the BMW up the tail, and around he goes. Reuter will retire, but Winkelhock is able to restart, and he will finally come home in 10th place after this rude knocking out. So Jörg van Ommen, having passed Eric Ellery for third place. At the hairpin, Ellery outbraking himself comprehensively, finding a wetter part of the track. And now Laurent Aiello making a mistake a lap later at the same place. So Jörg van Ommen goes up into second place. Oudsen still the leader by nearly 7 seconds. Van Ommen second, and Aiello and Ellery battling here. I beg your pardon, Van Ommen and Ellery battling here. Aiello will finish in 6th position. Now Ellery makes a mistake at the hairpin and he drops down behind Aiello. He will finish in 7th place. So Van Ommen chasing Uwe Oudsen here. This is the battle for the lead. 2 laps to go. One of the Audis ahead about to be lapped. Stays well out of the way. Jörg van Ommen in the yellow Peugeot. Uwe Oudsen in the white Opel. Van Ommen takes the lead. Oudsen in 2nd place, and with a lap and a half around the Nuremberg track, he can't do anything about the speed of the Peugeot. Jörg van Ommen wins for the first time in 1998. Victory for Peugeot in the sprint. That's their first sprint race win of the year. Uwe Oudsen second, a reliable top 3 performer he's turning into this season. So too Roland Asch, another good race for him, and a great start for Christian Abt at the Nuremberg circuit. He takes 4th. Well, Jörg van Ommen should have started the main race at the Norris Ring from pole, but his car refused to start, an electronic problem of some kind, and he was pushed off the track. So Uwe Oudsen on the right-hand side of the picture is the first man to get away, but Roland Asch alongside on the left with a hole ahead of him. Can he capitalize on that? Gabriele Tarquini there in 3rd place. Tarquini sitting alongside the Nissan, and he's got the inside line on the run down to the hairpin. Tarquini should take 2nd place here. Roland Asch forced out wide. 3 cars, 4 cars, 5 cars, 6 cars go inside him. And here is a view of Roland Asch's brake disc glowing red hot as he battles under braking. Oudsen leading then from Tarquini, Ellery, and that has changed. There is Eric Ellery in 2nd place, Gabriele Tarquini in 3rd, Christian Abt in 4th. Best showing for Audi so far this season. Then Laurent Aiello, Joe Winkelhock, Johnny Cicotto behind him, then Nicolo Larini. 3 Alfa Romeos here at this track for the first time in the season, and indeed, as it turned out, the only time in the season. Oudsen passed by Ellery for the lead. Aiello also going back fast, and he moves up into 2nd place at the expense of Oudsen. Laurent Aiello, fastest lap of the race, goes to the Frenchman in the Peugeot. Aiello in 2nd place, Ellery the leader in the closing stages of the main race, and a very wide entry line gives a tight exit line at the hairpin to Laurent Aiello. He guns the Peugeot out and past the Opel into the lead. So at the Norris Ring, Van Ommen the winner in the sprint. Now Ellery leads as both Hondas and Roland Asch's Nissan get side by side. Well, that's the battle for 6th place. Asch finally wins it from Tarquini and Christensen, but first win of the year, unbelievably, in 6 starts for Laurent Aiello in the main race at the Norris Ring from Eric Ellery and Uwe Oudsen. Opel 2nd and 3rd, BMW 4th and 5th, and then that Nissan and Honda battle 6th, 7th and 8th. But Aiello scores his first maximum points score of the season with the win in the race at the Norris Ring. And he closes on Johnny Cicotto, 249 to 256. There's just 7 points in it. Excellent stuff.
16:07 werden wir die Pirelli